And welcome to this video on simple interest. Now, simple interest is the most primitive form of interest, as the name would imply, and all it is asking us to do is asking us to find out the percentage of the amount of interest that we've got, and then we multiply that by the investment period, and then we add it on. So it does not change each year. Even if I invested something for 100 years in a simple interest account, the interest at the end of year 100 would still be the same as the interest at the end of year 1. So it's not a very good investment at all to use simple interest, which is why we don't see it very often in real life, in fact. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do for this question here, I need to find out 2% of Gina's amount of money, because if we look, we can see that she's got simple interest giving 2% interest per year. So that's what I'm going to deal with first. I'll deal with the 5 years in a moment after I've dealt with this first. So I've got to find out 2% of 4,500. Now, without a calculator, I'm going to find out 1%, and I'm going to find out 1%. Okay, so 1% is going to be divided by 100, remember? So if I divide this by 100, it goes back 2 places, so that's 45. And that's 45. So 2% therefore is going to be, in total, £90. Okay, so that was for 1 year. That's 1 year's worth of interest. Now, I don't need 1 year, I need 5 years. So for 5 years interest, I'm going to do 5 lots of £90. So 5 times 90, so 5 times 9 is 45. So it's going to be £450. Now, that is not my final answer, because it's how much money she has in the account after 5 years. So she's not got £450 in the account, she's got £450 added on to the original investment amount, which was 4,500. So she's got 4,500 there, and then she's got to add on the £450 as well. And then if we add the £450 on, 5, 9, so we get £4,950 would be in the account at the end of that time. Okay, so let's have a look at this next one then about Phoebe. So Phoebe invests 3,400 in an account giving 4% interest per year. How much will she have in the account at the end of 7 years? So let's find out the percentages that we need for Phoebe. So 1%, 1%, 1%, and 1%. Okay, so I divide by 100, so go back 2 places, so we're going to get 34. And that 34, look, is the same for all 4 of these percentages. And now I can add them all together. So 4, 8, 12, 16, carry 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I've got 136 now. So £136, that is the amount of interest that Phoebe is getting for 1 year. Okay, so that's the amount of interest for 1 year. Now, I don't want 1 year, remember. I want 7 years. So 136 multiplied by 7 is what I want to do. This is the calculation I'm looking for. So 7 times 6 is going to give me 42. So 2, carry 4. 7 times 3 is 21. 21 plus 4 is 25. Carry 2. 7 times 1 is 7. Plus the 2 is 9. So I've got £952, and that is my interest. So what I need to do in the last instance is I need to do Phoebe's original amount, which is £3,400, and I've got the new amount that she's going to have to be given by adding on that interest. So 2, 5, 13, carry 1, 4. So she has got 4,500. Say it again. £4,352 exactly in the end. Okay, so here's a more tricky looking question for you to have a try at. So pause the video and have a go at this question about this royal investment. Okay, so this question here, I'm just going to put the answers up rather than go through it in lots of detail. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is for Raj. So she invests in the King's account. Okay, so this is what Raj invests. So we know that she invests for 6 years. Okay, so let's find the interest for 1 year. So 3.5% of the amount that she invests, which is £9,000. So she's got to find out 3.5% of 9,000, and that gives me £315. So 315, that was for 1 year. I need that for 6 years. So because I'm doing it over 6 years, I'm going to get total interest is going to be £1,890. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add that on to the original investment period amount, which is 9,000 plus that there. Okay, and we should at the end of all that get £10,890. Okay, so that's how much Raj would get. Now the second and final part for the question now is how much that Daz gets. So Daz is using the Queen Camilla account. So Daz is going to invest for 5 years, and we do the same again. So you can see it's the same question again, effectively, just with different numbers. So 6% of 8,200. Okay, and we do that using any method that you choose, and then we're going to get for that £492. And then how many years was that for? That was for 5 years. So we're going to multiply that by 5, which gives us, in the end, it gives us £2,460. And then I add that back onto Daz's original amount, which is 8,200 plus is 2,460, and that gives me, in the end, a grand total for Daz of £10,660. So who will have the most money at the end of their investment period? We can see quite clearly by just over £200, we can see that Raj gets the most money. Okay, so I just make sure I say that in my final answer. Raj gets most money. Okay, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.